So I'm 22, graduated from university in London, and 1 year into my corporate job at one of the big four accounting firms. And I'm quitting this summer to move to Thailand. These are the reasons why. Number one, to get out of my comfort zone. Now, you will have heard it 1,000 times, but it doesn't get any less true. You don't grow inside your comfort zone. Just as a person, character wise, you become stronger. Things are going to be uncertain. It's a new country, it's a new continent. I'm going to mess up a lot of times, and that's okay. It's all part of a plan, part of a process, and it will all lead to personal growth. And then increased happiness and resilience. I don't know if if you ever experienced the joy and the fulfillment when you achieve something that didn't think would be possible, where you take the hard choice that you know it's the right choice, and then it pays off. You feel very fulfilled. I had that situation when I decided to leave Italy after 18 years to come to England, and that was, I'll be honest, it was not good. It was awful at the beginning, in fact, but I stuck through, and now I'm really happy I made the choice and I made the change, because I couldn't imagine having stayed the 3 years in Italy without coming to London. So that's point number one. Number two, to change my behavior. Now, change your environment to change your behavior. This is Atomic Habits 101. To change your behavior, you change your environment, because you get rid of your old cues. You know, your phone next to your bed, it's the first thing you pick up when you wake up, or, you know, the text from your friend, that's a cue to, reply, go out, the notification on social media, and a lot of things you can eliminate. You know, for example, the Instagram one, you eliminate the notification. The phone, you keep your phone out of your room. But if you've really observed your habits, you see that most of them, actually all of them, you don't do the actions on purpose. They just happen because your brain is trained to do so because of these cues. So by changing your environment, you get rid of your old cues. Now, I'm by no means someone who slacks. People who know me, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm rarely on social media, not enough, you could even argue. But I still feel some social obligations towards my family and some of my friends. So that's one thing I kind of want to change. And another thing I really want to change is the caring about what other people think. I want to stop caring about what other people think. Now, I've made a lot of progress in this regards, and in fact, I could name you the 3 people whose opinion I care now, that I want to kind of get rid of, if that makes sense. And those are 1 and 2, my mom and my stepdad, because that's who I live with. And number 3, my girlfriend. Now, my girlfriend, I've almost completely, I'd say, gotten over. But my mom and my stepdad, I just hate the idea, especially when recording videos for, my personal brand, that they are in the other room just listening. And again, I know, don't care about what other people think, right? It's easier said than done. As I said, I think I've made a lot of progress, but I still can't get my head around the fact that I can record a video and they're just, listening, and it's just annoying. I know that needs to change, and this is another reason why I'm moving, believe it or not. I remember in Italy, I used to care a lot about the opinion of my friends, the ones I went to high school with. And I remember if I wanted to, I was always shy, introverted. If I was talking to a girl, for example, they would come up and be like, "Oh my God, you're talking to a girl? What's going on? That's not you." So people have a certain opinion of you, and you want to change it. When you want to change, people who still have a different opinion of you, or an opinion based on what you were in the past, they are not going to help you in becoming the person you want to become. So another reason why I'm going is to build my personal brand, and I feel like here I wouldn't be able to do it, at least for myself. I know myself, it will be a lot harder to record videos and just get on camera, because it's something I generally don't like. I'm not a big fan of this, right? This Loom video and a little green dot in front of my face. But I'm sure I'll get used to it and it'll be a lot easier for me in Thailand. It's about priming your environment for success, right? So I still live at home. I can't control 100% of the environment, even though I try, with my cues. But for example, the food I eat, if my mum's cooking, I'm not going to make my own meals every single day. My workout patterns actually is a bit easier. But for example, working patterns, maybe I can't use the studio every time. Maybe there's a call going on because my mum and stepdad both live at home. So it's not ideal. I can't control 100% of the environment. And which brings me to point number 3, which is to get out of the noise. In the micro, it's very hard to get dialed into a routine. For me, there are a lot of interruptions. I'll give you a silly example. I wake up and try and go to the lounge to meditate, and my mum and my stepdad, they'll be up. They'll have been up since like 3-4 a.m. So I'll start meditating and my mum will come in and be like, "Good morning, sweetie, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm fine, mum, thank you." And then go back to meditating, and then a minute after, my stepdad will walk in and he'll be like, "What are you doing? Are you praying?" And I just won't reply. And then he'll leave. But it's just a lot of interruptions. And, if you've ever meditated, you know how hard it is to focus and how easy it is to get distracted. So that was just a silly example. But to get out of the noise in the micro, I've put in, I live in London. Now, London is a busy city, very noisy. Now, I don't want to use that as an excuse because I live in a relatively quiet area. So I'm not going to use that as an excuse. And I just wanted to touch on the macro aspect as well, because a lot of people talk about the West, right? How freedom of speech is slowly disappearing. It's war of freedom of speech, corrupt politician, wokeness. Now, I don't follow the news, okay? I don't follow politics, so I have no idea if this is actually happening or not. I've heard it say this is not one of the reasons why I'm leaving the United Kingdom. It may be happening. If it is, that's another reason, that's another point in favor to me leaving, but this is not one of the reasons. I do not have the knowledge or the information to, make a judgment on this. In my opinion, whatever's going on, you play the hand you're dealt, and you try to make the most of it, right? Without making excuses. I'm a big stoic, focus on what you can control. And point number 4, because it's cheap, it's super cheap. Now, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I currently live in London. If you live in London, if you've ever lived in London, you know how expensive it can be. I still live at home, so that's, making me save a lot. But if I wanted to move out, it would cost me around £2,000, which is about $2,500 between transport, rent, groceries. And I don't even go out in the evening. I don't really have any trivial expenses. That's just the basics. And if you compare it to Thailand, you can have a cute studio for $300, which is exactly what I'm planning on doing, and get cheaper groceries and cheaper everything else, which realistically is the only thing I'm going to spend money on, right? And then if you wanted to upgrade, once I start making more money, for $900, you can probably share a sick villa with some mates, which is something I'm really looking forward to doing. And 5, to work on my business, because it is so cheap. I have all the time in the world to throw at my business without having to worry about expenses. Can I live on £400, $400? It's not ideal, but it's definitely possible. And I've all the money I make, and all the money I make can be reinvested into the business, and I have time to make all the mistakes without worrying about not making rent. All the mistakes like, not making the sale when I should have, or making the sale when I shouldn't have taken on the client maybe, or, running the ads and trying to spend all the money on, marketing that doesn't work, and just trying to figure out the correct messaging, the correct caption, the correct creative. So I have all the time in the world to experiment, which I'm really happy about. And again, going back to the noise, no distractions, no one knows me. You know, I have all the time in the world to just focus on this thing, and I cannot wait. And number 6, to meet like-minded people. And this is a very big one. In Thailand, I believe, there is a big community of people who are working remotely. It's a big digital nomad hub of people who are making money online. And they're there and they can help me not only in my growth process, right? People who are ahead, who already made this jump from, you know, somewhere to Thailand, to quit their jobs, to start their online business. Not only I can create strong bonds and friendships with people who share my passions for fitness, for sports, for improving yourself, for, you know, business. They are also my ideal client base, because in the business I'm running, we help digital entrepreneurs achieve peace of mind and financial ease by streamlining their tax and accounting purposes. These are all people who very likely are good at what they do, know how to make money, but have no idea how taxes work. And that's where I come in. So people, 100% super big point. And finally, for the challenge. Now, I love a challenge. I went to university in London. I got a corporate job at one of the big 4 accounting firms, and everything was stable and predictable. I got my salary. I lived at home. And loads of people will disagree with me. You know, you have everything. What more do you want? I want the challenge. You know, I want to prove myself. I don't want to just sit here and just get my paycheck. I want to experience life. You know, I want to develop this character. I want to, you know, explore and experience. I'm 20. You know, I have had this hunch. I want to go for it. Grit developed in trying to survive. So if I go there, I know no one. Okay, I get rid of my paycheck. Now, you will develop, I'm assuming, 100%, I will develop a lot of grit in trying to survive on my own resources with my own wit and expertise. In fact, if you have your back against the wall, you will find a way. I can just picture it. Imagine if you don't make £1,000 by the end of the month, you sleep under a bridge, right? Or you're homeless. You can't live. You can't sleep under a roof. You'll find a way to make that fucking £1,000. And that's how I want it to be. I want the challenge. I want the challenge. And I just feel so excited and pumped at the idea. And I can't wait. And I just want to finish off with this quote. This quote I've heard. When you're 80 and on your deathbed, you're not going to wish you had fewer crazy stories to tell. Am I going to regret going to Thailand? I don't know. Maybe it could happen. Would I regret not trying when I've had this hunch for almost a year now? 100%. So that's why I'm going to Thailand. This is my Instagram where I'll be documenting my journey from London to Thailand. I'm leaving on the 9th of August and looking forward to seeing you there. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think, and if there's anything you'd like me to cover on these videos. I read and reply to all comments. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.